What is up, guys? It's your boy Kids coming back at you guys with an idea video. And frankly, I don't really like to do the whole like this card should be banned, this deck shouldn't work, this combo is too good, like things like that. But Tibalts Trickery needs to not be in the game. Just to be completely honest, Tibalts Trickery needs to just literally not be in the game. And to be more specific, what I mean is in the historic format. Tibalts Trickery inside of Modern doesn't really float because the consistency isn't really there, and that turn 2, turn 3 going off of Tibalts Trickery, doesn't have as much power as some of the other decks where, Infect and such can still swing in significantly faster, and some decks that have, low to the ground, counter cards and such in Modern just beat out Tibalts Trickery. The thing is, in historic, I mean, you literally, like, look at this board state. Like, turn 2, my opponent got Ugin, Liliana, and Orrery out on the same turn. That's literally what? That's 8, 16, that's 20, 22, 25 converted mana cost worth of permanence on turn 2. My turn 2 was literally playing a land, going for Abundant Harvest to find another land, and then passing off to this monstrosity. Now, the thing is, the deck itself is actually fairly consistent, and I've faced a couple versions of this with, Emergent Ultimatum, like he has just played, where they'll hit Emergent Ultimatum on turn 2, but it seems like this guy likes Genesis and Emergent, so, he just ended up hitting, Genesis Ultimatum instead, and it's just not okay. Like, this is his turn 3. Like, right now, this is this player's turn 3. Like, just let that sink in. This is turn 3. Like, that is beyond anything that should be in the format for historic. And I don't necessarily mind, like, some of the other cards. Like, there's actually some redundancy where there's another version, probably the most consistent version that I've seen of this deck, where they use Faithless Lootings, Cathartic Reunions, things like that, and they dig for another red card. It has an overload cost that allows you to play targeted instant sorcery if you don't do the overload. If you do the overload, it lets you play 1 copy of every instant sorcery in your graveyard. Super sweet card. But it's like a 4 converted mana cost or a 5 converted mana cost, so frankly, like, a deck doing something like that on turn 4 or turn 5, it's like, sure, I feel like that's definitely passable. There's other strong cards that can dig stuff out of the graveyard on turn 4, like Blood for Bones has been a thing for a long time. But, frankly speaking, there's just about nothing that any deck could have done about this. I think the deck that I have might have been the only one that could have done something, literally just because I played Teferi's Protections and a handful of board wipes that destroy all non-land permanents. But even then, I would still have to sit here and deal with what, Ulamog or whatever, that guy, whichever one it is. I think I got the right name for it. But it's just Teferi's, not Teferi, like, Tibalts Trickery is just too good. Like, and the fact that the deck has redundancy as well, where it has the other red card where you can literally just dig up an instant sorcery from your graveyard, do like basic discard draw outlets like, the Faithless Lootings. I think something just needs to be done about Tibalts Trickery. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, enjoy the idea, and I hope you guys don't think I'm just being a negative Nelly, pun intended. And, it's just one of those things. If I was to select any card in the format that needs to go, I'd be like Tibalts Trickery, and I feel like a lot of people did the same thing for a long time. When it came out in Standard, people were like, okay, like, this combo needs to go, and now it's in Historic with more redundancy and consistency. So personally, I'm fingers crossed it gets banned, and I know it's in a difficult spot in the format because people are still building historic decks, still trying to figure out what the best thing is, but frankly speaking, a deck that can put 20 plus converted mana cost worth of permanence on the board on turn 2, just something needs to be done about that, specifically because the deck has redundancy now. It has multiple effects that do the same thing. And yeah, I'm just really hoping that I don't have to keep running into the deck, specifically because it takes so many rares and mythics to play. I'm assuming that players in Mythic are going to be playing it more often than in other ranks. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe. It has been your boy Kittens. Peace.